here in Fargo, North Dakota, at the NDSU campus, where today the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, held a roundtable discussion with ag leaders.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
This Republican group was organized by North Dakota Senator John Hoeven, with Governor Kelly Armstrong and Representative Julie Fedorchuk on hand, along with ag officials from groups across the state, as Ag Secretary Rollins' first announcement was another tariff.
Since we're in North Dakota, which is such an important part of that industry, and what that means is through September 30th, imported products that contain more than 65% sugar will face an additional up to 33% in tariffs. Again, working every day to put our farmers first.
Now, many economists say long-term, those tariffs across markets like soybeans will cut America's biggest buyer, China, out of the loop and ultimately mean lower prices. Time will judge. Growers and ag group leaders at the table here said a couple of their biggest concerns are regulations over things like pesticides and wildlife regulations, along with trade regulations, tariffs.
It's the middle class that when you look at North Dakota, we're the ones expanding and trying to get into those markets. Our footprint is expanding. Our trade office and all of these companies and associations are very much involved and engaged, and they're looking at trying to do more.
Moment of time that we find ourselves in with a president who perhaps is more bold and more relentless than any president in the history of our country, other than maybe an Abraham Lincoln or even a George Washington. And I realize that makes a lot of people uncomfortable, but to watch his leadership and his boldness in working to realign the American economy and to fix a lot of this, I realize again the uncertainty, the unpredictability in a time of vast uncertainty and unpredictability, especially for a lot of the producers in certain lanes and industries, is really frightening. But I also understand, and the president understands, that there is no group of people who have been more with him and more supportive than the agriculture and rural communities, at almost 90% in the last election, which is remarkable. It is a remarkable number.
No specific life vest thrown to farmers at this roundtable if markets crumble in this trade war. However, President Trump has already implied he'll be standing by farmers. During Trump's first term, he doled out the most massive subsidies to farmers in history. I'm Neil Carlson reporting for iNewZ.TV.